Hi, I'm Matthew, and we're streaming live across the world. There's a few issues and maybe questions and answers that we'd like to discuss perhaps later this evening or maybe at another time. But I wanted to tell you a little about my work, our work across the world. We spent almost 2 months in America opening a charity. You can get information online about that. Uh, Obviously, this work involves a lot of time, a lot of expense, but we want to help those across the world, those with serious health issues. We deal with some of the most horrendous injury imaginable at the moment. I'm going to introduce you to a young lady, one of the most intelligent young ladies, girl, I should say, perhaps, she's 11, and that I've ever met in my up to 80 years of work and healing. I also want to tell you a little about my old uncles and aunts who all worked as healers. And at that time, of course, healing was part of our culture, a major part. Like my old granny used to heal. She would use herbs, she would use prayer, and people would walk maybe for miles and come in their bicycles and horses and carts, and I'm talking about 150, 200 years ago. So people that time would inquire about old Mrs. Lennon down in the bog, and she would be directed, or they would be directed down to her. Old Mrs. Lennon will look after you. Go and see her. Now she had old cures and prayers going back to biblical times and before. And of course, the people that time would help with jobs around the house, on the farm. She had a small farm, about 30 or 40 acres. They would save the hay for her. They would help her with the turf that time and do general chores. And that applied to perhaps hundreds of people across Ireland during that era. Things have changed somewhat over the years. We receive hundreds and hundreds of calls from across the world every day. A lot of our work is in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, in the Americas, Europe, all over Europe, Asia. And of course, in some cases, people can get quite impatient if they don't get an instant reply. But of course, we can understand people are sick and obviously they want help. And there's only 24 hours in the day, and obviously we're under pressure all the time to answer calls, but I'm going to let you know, maybe inform you a little at the moment, that if you don't get immediate reply to your requests, take it easy. Don't fuss. Gracie will get back to you and make the necessary arrangements. She does hundreds and hundreds of calls and texts, emails, what have you, every day, every week. So be patient, please. Our charity in America, of course, based in America at the moment, will facilitate people across the world. For 5 or almost 6 years, we've traveled extensively in the Southern Hemisphere, working with people in the jungles across Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, Argentina, Brazil, Chile, just to mention a few, dealing with some of the most horrendous illness imaginable. And I'm sure those of you who follow our page will see between perhaps 2,000 and 3,000 testimonials on our page, which is only a small spattering, a snippet of our work. As you probably know, we had 12 clinics in Ireland before COVID. North, south, east, and west, all prepared a year in advance. I remember looking at the old Jeep, the mileage on it, there was 85,000 miles, maybe it was kilometers, I'm not sure, in 1 year. So, a lot of travel. These days, we'd like to do the same. And a lot of people, every day we get asked questions about, when are you coming back to Ireland? When are you going to set up in Ireland? But maybe the venues that we used are a little overcrowded at the moment. Racket Hall is one in Roscrea. On an open day there, we'd have maybe 200, 300 or 400 people waiting and queuing from 4 in the morning to see us. The same would apply in Mayo, Park Hotel, Kiltimagh, Diamond Coast Hotel in Sligo, Ardboyne in Meath, and others in the Midlands as well. Now, to cater for 400 or 500 people, first of all, you need car parking. Need accommodation for waiting rooms. We'd have maybe 50, 60, 70 people in wheelchairs waiting to be seen. And of course, we needed help during those years. And I must say to a very generous Tom, you know who I mean, Tom, and Bill, and a whole lot of others who helped organize our open days. Thank you so much. The reason I outline this is because we can't get hotel accommodation or venues suitable for our work. Think about car space, think about overnight stay for the whole crew, and we work with, of course, accountants and lawyers and IT people and what have you. On open days, we'd have maybe 80 to 83,000 people tune in. This takes a lot of work, a lot of preparation, a lot of expense as well. Excuse me. A lot of expense for the whole crew. And we can't find accommodation in Ireland anymore to facilitate our needs. And so, if you good people out there have any suggestions, yes, we'd be very, very interested. But let's look at it in a realistic way. The town hall or the parish hall is just not suitable for the simple reason that there's not perhaps enough parking space, there's not enough accommodation for overnight stay for the crew. And of course, to book you can't again book those hotels in advance. Again, we would need places where we could have food and food for everyone. Of course, because when you're waiting from 4 or half 4 or 5 in the morning until maybe half the day, one needs, people need to have access to food and to be able to facilitate those with special needs also, physically, mentally, and food-wise as well. So we look forward maybe to posts, testimonials, or emails letting us know if there's suitable accommodation available. And now I want to say a couple of words and introduce you to Hana. Hana is a young lady, a young girl of 11, who only had a couple of words, shall we say, preverbal. And when we started to work with her last December, I think, she's made remarkable recovery. Hana was diagnosed with autism. And she used to spend a lot of her time in her room. But her mum, Louise, is on board with us at the moment. And maybe we can have a quick chat with Louise and Hana. So Louise, the spotlight is on you.
Hello, Matthew.
Thank you for coming on board. And we thank Hana also. How is Hana at the moment?
Hello. Hannah is good. She's good.
Hello.
Hello, Matthew. Hello, Gracie. No, okay.
No,
Maybe later. Okay.
Gracie anymore, but that's okay. It's lovely to hear her speak, and of course, she's made a remarkable recovery.
Yeah, we've had huge progress since we started. We went from just having a few single words to 2 and 3 word sentences almost overnight. So it's great. We're delighted.
Okay, and overnight, tell us what you noticed after the first session, Louise.
After her first session, she would have spent a lot of time alone.
Yeah.
But after the first session, just immediately after I hung up the phone to yourself, she joined us in the room. I'll never forget for the toy show. It was the night of the toy show. I'll never forget it. So she joined us, my extended family, which was something that has never ever happened before.
Okay.
So we're delighted.
Well, yes, we were also delighted to hear about her progress along the way. And I believe there's been some remarkable progress. I think you mentioned she texted her dad.
Yeah, just after the last session last week, she went to bed, but she forgot her Weetabix and her water. So she got my phone and she sent her dad a WhatsApp voice clip to tell
Okay.
her dad, bring the Weetabix and water, please, Daddy. So that was
Wow.
huge. Yeah.
Was shocked.
Oh, he was shocked. He was delighted.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we are also delighted that she's making so much progress, doing so well. And I remember during the first session saying to you, this is one of the most intelligent and brightest young girl I've met in my now up to 80 years.
Yeah.
So maybe we can have a wave, if that's okay, from Hana.
Yeah, Hannah. Please. Wave to Matthew. Wave to Matthew.
No, we're not going to have it tonight, but okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you, Louise, for going over with us
Yeah.
all of this. It may help someone else.
Some other, yeah. I would have loved, to have seen something like this a few years back. Because it definitely has changed our lives, even for the small things. Yeah, it's a huge. We've had huge progress from it.
From the sessions.
From
And
the sessions. Yeah, we're delighted. Yeah, yeah.
I remember a couple of days before Santa was due.
Yeah.
She was very, very talkative then. She was
Yeah.
describing what she was going to leave out for Santa. The carrots and the milk and the toast and the jam and of course the butter and I think there was bananas and
And oranges, yeah.
And of course, Rudolph couldn't be left out. She
Yeah.
left out some water for him and
Yeah.
went over this with us during the session, and we were delighted to.
Yeah, yeah. Every night, there was an extra food item added to the list every night.
Absolutely. And it was all prepared by her meticulously.
Oh yeah, she done it all herself. Yeah.
Good. Well, Louise and family, Hannah, and we wish you the very best. We thank you for coming on board, and we wish you a blessed day every day.
Thank you, Matthew.
Until we see you again, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, that was just Mum's version of Hannah, who was diagnosed with autism. Like others across the world, and some very, very serious cases, we have a number of children who've been diagnosed with autism, dyslexia, dyspraxia. And if you look through our 2,000 plus 3,000 maybe testimonials, you will find some incredible benefits. We're not claiming, we're not going to say that we cure everyone. That's impossible. We do the best we can. We give 100% of our work. And sometimes we get requests for people who've never been to us, but they're keyboard warriors and they want to have their say without ever being to us. The critics, in other words. But I suppose you get them in every walk of life and they don't matter. During our travels for 5 years across the world, we met some of the most incredible people. Those suffering from severe hunger, with no health care, no shelter, or very little, and no food. And during those years, like I said, we met some incredible people. We worked with a young man in the jungles in Dominican Republic with some of the most horrendous injury that you could imagine. His leg should have been amputated. We worked with him Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, every day. Traveled to the jungle to see him, and his leg improved such a lot that he didn't have amputation. We had to leave Dominican Republic and come to Mexico. We worked in southern Mexico with a young man, 17 years. When he was 17, he had a serious injury. He had severe neurological problems, told he'd never walk. In a wheelchair, 35 years. We got him walking and talking. Check out our videos and perhaps you will see. This was a family who was involved in, I think they call it rodeo. And he gave me one of his prized possessions from his win as a champion in rodeo. I have it here with me. I'm going to show you. It's very heavy. There it is. It was his or his father's prized possession. Now it's mine. Okay, so put it down there. And I'd like to do a questions and answers sometime. We're not set up to do it tonight, but I think we have a clip here of Hana. Hana's mom, Louise, who's just been on with us, has sent a little clip just now from Hana, and here it is.
Hana knew the video was different from your normal appointments. When she's seeing it, that's why she would do it.
I'm told that Hana knew that this appointment was different to the normal one. So here she is. in front.
Hello, Marcy. Hello, Marcy.
Hello, Matthew. Hello, Gracie.
Hello, Matthew. Hello, Gracie. Hello, Marcy. Hello, Marcy.
Hello, Matthew. Hello, Gracie.
Hello, Matthew. Hello, Gracie.
Okay, well, that's the lovely Hana. And you would, it's unbelievable, her progress over the past number of weeks. And I hope that continues. I want to also talk about healing. I want people often say, how do you do this healing? What is it? And I suppose the younger people maybe are not so familiar with our old cultures in Ireland. And so they want to know, and maybe this is a good time for me to describe a little about healing as it was done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago, going back to biblical times and to the Druids. They worked a lot with herbs. A lot of the old healers were familiar with herbal medicine. Prayer. Some find it very difficult to understand how healing works. Well, people like myself come to this earth to do a special job and to have the abilities to tune in to the higher spheres, if you like, and to get information as to what and how to heal. Some of you would say also, healers shouldn't charge. Well, if you went to my old grannies a few hundred years ago, they didn't have money at that time, but they would support in every way possible to help. These days, things are different. When we pull up at the gas station, well, the good Lord he refuses to pay. Hotels, airfares, accommodation, we have to try to do that ourselves. But there are no issues when it comes to healing. We get the help that we need. This is spiritual work. This is the work of the divine. And no human hands can do it. I hope you've learned a little from our short video. We'll come on again maybe. And if there's questions and answers needed, we'll do all of that. And in the meantime, I wish you the very, very best, and my hope is that you will be one of those who get the support you need from the good Lord. God bless you all, and thank you for listening.